Hello everyone, Alexander here with Beer Powered Gaming bringing you another episode of Check It Out, where this week we're going to be looking at Grey Goo, the latest RTS developed by Petroglyph. Petroglyph is well known for other RTSs, including my personal favorite, Star Wars Empire at War, and Forces of Corruption, as well as Universe at War. Like those RTSs, this game is incredibly hard and relentless, and it goes more back to their roots with Command and Conquer and other Westwood RTSs of the day. This game itself features three races, much like StarCraft. They're asymmetrical. We have the Alpha, which are the humans, probably from the British Space Agency, and the Beta, which are an alien race of Australians and Scottish Highlanders, and the Goo, which is what the game is named after. The name Grey Goo is basically based off of an apocalyptic end-of-the-world scenario where nanotechnology has grown way beyond control, and they're self-replicating, and they wipe out all life as we know it. The goo in the game is much like that. I believe it's actually from a human experiment that got out of control and is now replicating and consuming the planet, and now the Beta and the Alpha are at war with it as well as each other, because the Beta are trying to go back to some home galaxy, and they think that the Alpha are this ancient enemy that they have been fighting for and running away from for a very long time. So now they're just fighting each other and the goo. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to be looking at a couple features of the game. I'm going to first show the intro mission here in Hunter's Valley, so we can look at some of the hotkeys and some of the stuff, like just the basic base building and stuff like that. Like I said, it's a really, really hard game. It's very easy to learn, and it's easy to get started, but the game itself is just, if you're used to like Zerg rushing and StarCraft tactics, this game is going to be, you're going to have to really relearn how to play RTSs with this game. It's more strategic, where you need to put forces in certain areas, much like, let me see if I can think of the name of the game, Supreme Commander. Supreme Commander is kind of like that. It's not as big, of course, but it's kind of that same tactical style. So we're going to go ahead and start real quick.
Sanchawo, Rocker Tacos and Falabedas.
Standard Rafa ar Astatu.
Variatka Kutri. Ait Sakmirat Miri. Astabahi Matira Dura.
Het Firo and the Rira.
Safiro Esarok. Rutim Tulu.
Sakurata? Sakurataba? Sakuratusa.
Chatralke Dasat.
Tasco da Otos. Traduskal. Ekos.
Irimida! Lukidu Libanas! And Himo! Sinja. Tatus Atane Alin. Du Kapani da eine Suritu. Du Lopina Karibadat.
Hiri Saruk. In Finland Maka
Ja, Bisu Sinja du Aramali. Pasuki Mirak, du Libanas. Alert! I'm at Hunter's Valley with 8 other survivors from the proving grounds. No major injuries. Alert.
Sarok, I'm glad you're okay. Word of the attack has reached the keep. Some of the settlements in the lowlands can't be reached. Communications are amiss. Baz Barker is at Magsky and marshalling crews toward your position, but I've yet to get him on the comms. In the meantime, establish a headquarters in Hunter's Valley. Sarok, are we ready for this? I'm getting a signal from Barker. Stand by.
Alright, so that was the intro. And one thing that really kind of disappointed me about the game is you get introduced to this really awesome alien language, and it's only in that movie. Well, I haven't gone through the entire game because it's really hard, but of all the missions that I've gone through with these aliens, that's the only time I've ever heard them use that language. Like, I can understand for like mission briefings it should be in English, and while you're playing the game it should be in English, but in the cutscenes I would have liked them to keep the language. I thought it was really cool and really neat. But after that, it's just pure Australian and Scottish Highland all the way through till you finish their little story mode. And then after you finish their story mode, you start off as the alpha, and it picks up like a day before all of this happened, and it's kind of like an intertwining storyline type deal. I'm not going to show too many cutscenes and spoil too much of the story for you. I want you to kind of experience that as you play the game. So I'm actually going to put an option for you to skip the cutscenes in there. So, but here we are, just waiting for the game to load up, and I will show you some of the features here. Usually loads up faster than this. Taking forever.
I have Baz Barker on comms.
Sir, I'm sorry. I had to detonate the catalyst at the proving facility.
If this is the Silent Ones, it was a necessary sacrifice. You made the right choice. I need your focus on the outer fields. We must ensure nothing else breaches the keyhole.
Aran Saruk, I'm afraid the loss of the supply yards at the proving grounds has reduced our skycrane capacity in that area. You're going to have limited resources for a while.
We'll make do. Let's get this base operational, then we can scout out what came through the keyhole.
Alright, so here we are at the first mission of the game. I'm sorry if it's a little dark. I have the gamma all the way up. I don't know what it is about video capture in this game, but they always seem to be a little dark. And you'll notice in a lot of the other YouTube videos, like the strategy guides and walkthroughs, and other campaign playthroughs, that the video is a little dark. Alright, quiet, Saruk. Alright, so as you can see, it's like your basic RTS here. It's kind of reminiscent of Earth 2160 as well. As you build off these main structures, they're not really free-forming. Immediately you can see here in the panel that all of your buttons here are tied to hotkeys. And they show you what hotkeys they are. So it's really cool. You don't actually have to look in your guide here, like your encyclopedia, to really learn the hotkeys. But they do have a really awesome encyclopedia. They have your tutorial here. This is for like first-time players of RTS games. A couple other things, like this is more specific to this game in particular. Then you have your game mechanics, how the game's going to work out, and then your basic controls and stuff like that. But see, you can actually open up these little panels with the mouse, of course. But you can also use the hotkeys. So for structures, you hit Q, and then it's going to pull up the 3 types of structures you can build, or actually the 4 types of structures you can build, which are also assigned to the same hotkeys. So I could go QQ, and that would give me the civic structures, which will allow me to build my harvester, which I'm going to attach to my main thing there, and put it on the resource there. I think it's called Catalyst, I believe, is the name of the resource in the game. So that's what you're harvesting. And the cool thing about this catalyst is it's respawning. So once you drain it all, it'll eventually respawn, and it'll still provide you an income. So it's not like StarCraft, where you're going to have to go all over the map and try to attach or try to get different resources all over the map and stuff like that. You're not really fighting for resources in this game. The resource management is a little bit better than StarCraft in that sense. What you really want to do is you want to spend more time on your tactics. You want to set up ambushes, you want to set up traps, you want to, just once the game gets more once you get into the more late game where you're building like massive amounts of troops, you want to be able to distract their main force and try to drag them somewhere else with like a smaller force hiding in brush, which I'll show you later, and then while you move your main force around and try to get all that stuff. So
We need to find room to expand.
I'm going to go ahead and build
Unit introduction.
2 stalkers, 2 commandos. Those are your basic troops. You got your light units, and then you can tab to your heavy units. And then you can tab to your air units. Then you can tab again to the technologies, and then you can tab to the civic structure. So everything is really hotkeyed to your keyboard, and it's pretty easy to use. So you really don't have to use the mouse. So if you're one of those action per minute type people, this game really does help you out with that. But the thing is that everything builds so slowly that it's really not much of a Zerg rushing going on in the game. In fact, if you, I've actually tried to use the whole build a massive army and Zerg rush into the enemy base like a number of times, but by the time you have the army that's supposedly capable of doing that, they already have an army that's twice as large, and they wipe out your army, and then you got nothing. So you really want to be able to use different tactics. You're really going to have to relearn different strategies to be successful in this game. So I'm going to build that, and then I'm going to get a silo here to kind of increase the silos increase your resource cap. So let's quickly look at the tooltips here. We have your population, which only is a maximum of 200. You can't raise it in any way that I've seen so far. This is your resource cap, which is 1,000. The more silos you build, the higher your resource cap goes. And this is your income. So as your extractors go into the refineries, it provides you a certain amount of income. Right now, it does generate me 13 per second, but then these troops take income per second. So this troop costs 4 income per second for a total of 80 resources before it's completed. It takes about 20 seconds. You can see there it says 20 seconds, 80 resources, and it costs 1 population. And then it shows you the requirements for those units. And as you queue up more units, their resource cost, 5 per second, 4 per second, will be added to the total cost, or will be subtracted from the resource income. So you can actually queue up units while you don't have any money, but it slows everything down. So you really want to do some good resource management in this game. Deal with the enemy here. We're gonna go ahead and scout out.
All units, this way. Group.
Some bad guys
The enemy
here.
forces are retreating.
Okay.
They may be hiding in that brush. Coordinate fire. Group.
Alright, so this is the brush, and you can't attack into the brush unless you have someone in the brush. So, and I'll explain that after I get rid of these guys.
Target. I'll be stalking.
Alright, so here I'm in the brush. So I'm completely invisible from the enemy right now, unless they actually send someone into the brush to fight me. I can't shoot into the brush unless I have someone in the brush, or I have an artillery which can just blind fire into the brush. But I can ambush people. So there's this tank here, he won't notice me, and he can't fire back at me until someone goes into the brush. So basically I've ambushed him and I've destroyed him. So that's what I mean by setting up ambushes. You can set up ambushes in brush, and then there's elevation as well, which there isn't any in this map, I don't believe. Oh, there is actually. So if I go over here, this would provide me an elevation advantage over any troops that come through this pass. They can't fire against me unless they have a certain type of troop that can see higher elevation, or they have a scout plane, which will give me... So right now, I have my troops up here on this higher elevation, and they're invisible to anyone below there, and they should be able to fire at them, see, and they can't do anything about it. So it actually gives me the ability to create little ambushes and create chokeholds in the game. So as you can see, there's a lot of different... there are a lot of different options strategically to do in the game. It's pretty cool that way. There's some more catalyst over here. And if you want, also you don't have to go scouting for resources. You just hit this resource display. It is your planet after all, and it shows you exactly where you can build your harvesters and where you can get more catalyst. As far as I've learned from the skirmish mode, there is no actual
I just need a target.
I guess I don't know what the word would be. Range. There's no range limit on your harvesters and your extractors. Each refinery can only have 1 extractor per refinery, but I could actually build a refinery right here, and as long as I can, this guy keeps talking. As long as I can see the resource, I could build an extractor here, And my harvesters, these little dudes right here, will actually drive all the way up and pick up the stuff and come all the way back. It's not the smartest thing to do, but if you really wanted to, you could do that. For the alpha, that's probably something you're gonna have to do because you can't build little hubs like this as the alpha. Why isn't it letting me build my? Oh, that's right. I need the small hub. Okay, so here's your small hub, which is kind of an expansion for the beta race.
Beginning construction.
And then we're gonna go ahead and take the rest of our army here.
I'm here. New direction orders.
So now I got
There
troops
seems
up here
to be
that
an
can.
unarmed air scout, but there may be other aircraft around. We'll need to avoid them
Yeah,
for now,
take them out.
until we can find some tech attachments.
Oh, okay, so they can see me because they have a scout plane up there. So now they know that I'm up there. Once.
I'm hit. Focus fire.
Yeah, see, their scout plane is allowing them to see my trap. So. Fortunately, I have an army up here as well. So that's why you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, because there's a lot of rock, paper, scissors countering going on in the game. So now I'm going to go ahead and build my second harvester. I should have to go and put someone. See, you have to actually have line of sight on the item there. There we go. You want to maximize your resource intake. So depending on where you put it on the catalyst is how much resources you get. So right now I'm getting 8 per second, 10 per second, and then finally 13 per second, which is I think is the max you can get off of one.
Stalker awaiting instruct.
And I'm going to put another silo there.
Unit ready. Unit in production. Beginning construction.
You guys.
Unit under attack. Extractor complete.
Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a rally point to the second expansion base. That's where all my troops will go.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
Take a little look at the unit. I'm sorry if it's a little ugly. This game is actually a lot prettier than you're seeing right now. I actually had to lower the graphics in order for the for it not to like. It's not really optimized for game capture software like Fraps or Shadow Play or anything like that. So if I can play the game maxed out on like ultra graphics, but it's not gonna look. It slows the computer immensely when I try to do motion capture or game capture. So I had to lower the graphics a lot. But the game is actually incredibly pretty, and it's still even kind of pretty even with the graphics lowered like this. So, but we're just gonna get through this real quick.
Unit under attack.
And then we're gonna hide in the brush. If we hide in the brush, we can actually get a few pops off on them before they can hit us. Let me destroy this wall real quick.
Unit in production.
Okay. Keep the troops coming. Hey,
Stalker,
hey.
you have a target. Group
Get
attack
past me.
confirmation. Right behind you.
Alright.
Stalker, check.
This should be a big enough army. So let's see, you have your structures, light units, heavy units, air units, and tech upgrades. You have civic techs. You have so you have your civic technology, your tank technology, your artillery technology, stealth technology, and air technology. And they all do different. They all give you different bonuses. You can only do one tech per branch. So you really want to choose what you want to do or what you want to be good at. So let's get here. Let's start moving forward. I always want to make sure my troops are being built,
Give me the word.
especially with all this
Looks like an old
extra income.
outpost. Maybe we can
Alright,
use
so
it.
now I want to go ahead and repair all of this stuff.
Repair.
Coordinate on target. Assist check down.
Unit under
Oop,
attack.
oop, oop,
outpost
move
has a
forward.
tank
We got to get rid of this.
detachment.
So this is an artillery type of unit. They can really decimate your troops because they have a lot of splash damage. So you really want to focus on getting rid of those guys.
Confirming assist. Do it.
Alright, now we want to build there's a new tank attachment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the factory.
We'll need to repair
Here.
the structures. If we're attacked
And I'm
again,
gonna
they
repair
won't
all
last
this
long
stuff.
like this.
Repair.
As the game's telling me to do. And then
Unit
here's a
ready.
repair pad. Repair
Unit in
pads
production.
are pretty good. They repair
Repair.
all your units. Any kind of unit will be repaired at the repair pad. All it needs is a hub to give it power.
Beginning construction.
Oop, make sure that my troops are being built. There we go.
Unit under attack.
Not today. I'm in trouble.
Factory's
complete.
done, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build these new
Unit
tank troops.
introduction.
So 4 of those.
Unit ready.
And then I'm going to
Unit
build an
introduction.
air attachment, I believe I can build. Yep, okay, so I'm going to build an air attachment. And that should allow me to get these
Beginning
anti...
construction.
See these airplanes right here? These are all spy craft. So right now the
Full hub
enemy knows exactly
complete.
what I'm doing and where I am. So I'm going to build some anti-air guns to get rid of those things so that the enemy doesn't know what
Unit
the hell I
ready.
am doing with my life.
Unit introduction.
Move these guys down here.
Let's run them
And I'm going
down.
to change
Jet.
the
Will
spawn
assist.
point. Spawn point. I'm going to change the rally point to here. And I'll build another factory right there. And that should give me all of the units I need to take over the base. This is the first mission of this game is pretty much a Zerg, just a Zerg rush. It's one long winding path up to the enemy base. There's really no
Unit ready. Unit
on.
introduction.
Taking fire.
there's no
Damage is critical.
damn it, they have a frickin'
Clearing the field. I'll be stalking. Fire at will.
Unit under attack.
get up here and deal with this
Factory
thing.
complete.
Hopefully we can get rid of
Unit
it.
ready.
But there's no real room for maneuvering. There's only one way to get to the base.
Group attack confirmation. Stalker needs assistance. What's next?
Come on, what's going on
Unit
here?
under attack. Unit introduction. Unit ready.
For the keep. Group.
Get over here.
Move
Let's
out.
get a guy on the wall.
Unit
Do some
introduction.
repairing.
Repairing.
Dogger down.
Unit under attack. Unit ready. Unit introduction.
Yes.
Alright.
Right. On the move.
I'm gonna build another factory here. More factories means more units.
Done.
Especially with the fact that they are definitely pumping out way more units than I am.
Assist check.
Alright, also these walls have little spots for you to garrison your troops on. So right now I basically have a nice little missile turret right here. And these guys are really good at taking care of enemy units. So I'm going to make sure that these guys are fully manned. And I should be able to deal with that issue then. Boop. They also don't take damage while they're in the wall. Unless you get hit by the splash damage artillery. So they'll be pretty much safe up here until the wall is gone. But once the wall is destroyed, I believe they also get destroyed. So you want to keep your walls repaired.
Repairing.
Alright, the sky is done, so I'm going to go ahead and build 2 sky bursts
Unit
here.
introduction.
And I got to make sure that my
Unit
guys are
introduction.
still working.
Stalker. Ready.
Unit ready.
Alright, so far,
Unit
so
introduction.
good. Got some tank robot here. I'm going to put a sky burst right there. That should take care of that guy, because I know he's doing a big circle. Doing a patrol circle.
Unit ready.
I don't think you can set up patrol points. Yes, you can. You can set up patrol points. Okay, so here are your little options for your characters. You have hold ground, stop,
Very nice.
guard,
Unit
control,
ready.
patrol, and attack move.
introduction.
Your attack move is really useful for artillery.
Yes.
If you have your artillery, that's when you can shoot fire. You can blind fire into the brush and destroy whatever's in there. So it's a really good way of smoking people out of the brush. So we have our cloud guy up there. He's gonna help, and then I'm gonna need to send one against that
Unit
guy.
ready.
Make sure we're still
Unit
building our thing.
introduction. Unit ready.
Loaded
go.
and ready.
Almost done. I just need that
Unit
second
ready.
cloudburst guy. Here he is.
Unit
Go
introduction.
deal with this thing.
Ready to move.
Enemies.
Unit ready.
Oh, there we go.
Unit
Yeah, take 'em out.
introduction. Unit
There we
under
go.
attack.
All right. So our their spy drone is gone, and now I can.
Let's punch some holes.
I'm gonna take him out.
Ready for the go.
Put another spy drone up there.
Let's hunt.
So there's the second sky drone, little bastard.
Unit ready. Unit introduction. Unit ready.
Predators on the hunt.
Go away.
Unit under attack. Unit ready. Unit
Keep
introduction.
building. Take that thing out.
Sky.
Yeah. Now they're blind, which is awesome.
Unit ready. Unit introduction. Unit under attack.
Come on, units. Get in there. This should be enough to cause some damage.
Unit ready.
Predators go. Covering him.
Resource field depleted.
Formation.
I used to like to try to hide in the brush, but you can't. See, again, you can't actually get through into the base that way. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a way around. Yeah, you pretty much have to go one way. So now they have their defense turrets, which you can destroy pretty quickly. You can mob those up pretty quick.
We found the enemy base. Concentrate fire on the larger buildings.
I'm a wreck.
Yeah.
Inform us and attack.
I'm gonna go destroy the factories.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
What I do? Alright.
Ready.
Send some reinforcements up here.
Unit in production.
Set. Clearing the
So here's another cool thing you can do. See this refineries right here? And you want to get rid of their money. You don't actually have to destroy the refinery. You can just destroy the conduit, which is much easier to destroy. And that will remove power from the refinery. And now it doesn't make any money for them.
fire at will. Confirmed. Receiving fire.
We got air turret terminal.
Moving on.
And then we'll do the same thing here to this conduit.
Unit in
And that should get rid of their other refinery. Bam. And their turret. So there we go. Now they have no power, so they're not going to get any money.
Unit in production.
And now I can just destroy them at will.
Unit under attack.
I need out.
Unit in production.
Waiting.
Actually, I should be able to get rid of this conduit and destroy their factory too. Alright, so now their factory can't make anything. See? All dead. Oh no, yep, nope, they're all dead. Alright. So now I'm just going to destroy their core.
Unit ready. Unit in production.
So like I said, big strategy. Instead of just sitting here and trying to destroy the refinery, just destroy the conduit, and then the refinery is useless. And then you destroy the conduit here. Then you destroy their core. Now they can't build anything. Now you can deal with the harder to destroy buildings,
Clearing the field.
because now they're useless. They're absolutely useless. You just have to destroy them for the victory. That's about it.
Awaiting
But
orders.
now you don't have to worry about
Fire at will.
them building other troops or trying to thwart your plan in any other way. It's pretty much the best way to beat the humans is to destroy their little conduits.
Unit in production.
And the same thing goes for the beta. When you want to, oh, I forgot to put the new rally point. My bad. I have all this whole army over here. The best way to defeat the beta is the same way. Instead of destroying these little factories or these little attachments, you just want to destroy the center. So these little hubs actually have less HP than the things that are attached to them. So once you destroy the hub, it's useless, and then that way you stop them from building other units and things that can thwart your plan. So let's go ahead and throw this stuff here.
Unit ready.
All right, Operation Success. So now there's a little cutscene here, which I'm going to skip. And, basic end of the RTS battle. It's going to show me my victory results, how many forces I had, how many forces they had, how many structures I had, how many structures they had, what I destroyed, stuff like that. The primary and secondary objectives, which if you do their entire campaign, I think there's like 4 missions. If you do all 4 of their missions, maybe 5, and do all the primary and secondary objectives, you get an achievement. There's a whole bunch of Steam achievements and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the campaign map. I'm going to go back to here, and we're going to do a quick skirmish battle so I can show you what skirmish looks like. Here you have all the maps. They're pretty cool. Some of them are really asymmetrical. They all have different resources in different areas and different control points that make you want to move your troops in different areas. My favorite one so far is the Grotto Assault. I really like having to go around in this U shape and turning this into like a real dead man zone kind of deal. You have your 3 modes. You have Standard, which is destroy the HQ, all refineries, and all production buildings. Then you have the Annihilation, which is destroy every single thing that they own. And then Destroy HQ, which is just destroy the HQ. I'm going to do Free for All. I'm going to have Epic units are the main epic units. Each race has 1 epic unit. The Beta has the Hand of Ruck, and that's the only epic unit I've built. I don't know what the Alpha or the Goo have. I think the Goo have some weird giant eating ball of goo thing. But we can just create a match real quick. The game ships with the editor, so you can actually edit everything yourself. You can make your own maps and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm going to play as the humans real quick. And we'll fight against the... we'll fight against the goo, why not? And then I'm going to make them easy so that we can actually play a little bit, because I don't have a lot of time left in this episode, so we're going to launch this real quick. Alright, so here we are as the humans. They are all drone-based, so let's see. Everything is pretty much machines, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a refinery real quick, and we're going to take care of that.
Beginning construction.
I'm going to grab this resource right here. Build our refinery. Before you have to build a refinery before you can build anything. I always like to throw this on so I know where all my stuff is. So that's definitely the first thing you have to do is build a refinery. Like I said, there's no range between the refineries and extractors.
Refinery
so if I wanted
complete.
to... okay, so here you can't build any other hubs. This is your only main building, is the core. Everything else is built off of conduits that break off of the core. So I can make a conduit here, and which I'm going to do. And I'm going to build out here, build the conduit real quick. And this is your starter unit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build refineries, and I can just build extractors all along the map without actually having to... And then my extractors will just move back and forth. But we'll go ahead and hurry up, and there's their first enemy goo unit. So they know where I am. I should actually send my starter unit up there and see what their base is going to look like. Do a little exploring. Alright, so now we need to build our first factory. So everything builds off of these conduits here. First factory. There's the next thing. I want to build a second refinery right there. Let's see if I can actually fit a refinery there. Yep, I can. Sweet. Definitely want to get at least 2 refineries to maximize your production of your troops. Refineries take a lot of frickin' resources to build. I think they take 800. The cost is on top of the structure itself. So I'm going to make sure... I'm going to wait... Okay, that's about half. So I should be able to get it done. And I have to send a unit over there, damn it. Okay. Send a unit over there real quick. You can see it has a high resource drain, and it does take a little bit of time to get it built. So pretty much I have to wait until the little dudes are there. Loop. Almost done. There we go. Here you have your game time. Shows you how much time has elapsed in the match. So that's pretty cool. It's interesting.
Refinery complete.
All right. I'm going to build a little unit here real quick.
attack.
Okay, I'm going to build a couple units.
Unit in production.
All right. So I know what their base looks like. There's their mother goo. Oh, I'm actually doing all right. Destroyed their first unit. The mother goo, which is the one that creates all of the other units, can move around the base. That's the thing that's cool about the goo. They can move anywhere. So you're really going to be hunting them down. They don't have a set base like the beta or the alpha or the humans do. So the goo actually just moves around. So definitely want to deal with that. All right, so I'm going to put our extractor right here. We're going to make sure I can maximize out. Okay, I think 10 is the most I can get out of that one. All right, let's see what else I have to build here. Tank attachment is pretty smart to get. Tank attachment right there.
Beginning construction.
There you go.
Extractor complete. Unit ready. Unit in production.
The goo are pretty susceptible to your tridents or your stalkers. They can make quick work of pretty much any goo troop. Of course, the most devastating would obviously be the longbow, or the beta's little walker unit that you saw in the first match that I did. But they're really expensive and they take a long time to build. So your best bet for early goo fighting is your tridents or your stalkers if you're playing as the beta. So we're gonna quickly build. We're gonna build over here. If I can grab, yeah, we're gonna build out here. Build out here real quick.
Conduit cross complete.
Revolver online.
Unit ready. Conduit cross.
And I'm gonna go ahead and build some
Conduit
guard
complete.
towers.
Beginning construction.
Revolver ready. Group in motion. Right away.
Oh no, it's already too much for the game. Ah.
Production.
Hey everyone, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the frame rate issues in this game when it comes to screen capturing, but I can assure you that this doesn't happen when you're playing the game itself without any kind of screen capture or game capture going on in the background. It's very seamless. The game is really fun. I've made it all the way to the 200 population cap, had no hitches, and I've had everything maxed out. So I assure you, if you're playing the game and you're not trying to do any kind of capturing or anything like that, it's going to run perfectly fine. I think the frame rate issues are just something to do with like the length of gameplay, because it seemed like everything was running pretty fine until I got to like 45 minutes into the game, and then it just started to drop frames, and then even when I went back to the main menu, it was dropping frames. So that just seems to be a game capturing issue, and dealing with the game itself is just not really optimized for that. But the game is really, really fun. I wanted to show you the menu, the multiplayer menu real quick. You know, your kind of options here. You have your quick match, unranked, ranked, stuff like that. I haven't really done any multiplayer matches yet, so I'm not really sure. I think they seem to have problems with the matchmaking. Well, it seems the game is done being photogenic. Frame rate issues are something I can't figure out. It's not the. I can lower the graphics and it's not really working. I just think it's something to do with the game and how it works with screen capture. But thank you for watching this week's episode of Check It Out. I'm glad I was able to show you some of the features before it went to crap. And I really enjoy this game. It's hard, it's challenging, in a really fun, meaningful way. So if you're looking for an old school RTS, this is definitely the game for you. So come back next week. We're going to be looking at Dying Light on the PlayStation 4. As well as we're going to get that Don't Starve Together. Check it out as well, because I'm very excited. I love playing that game too, and I really want to show it to you guys. And I still have that free copy to give away to my subscribers. So, comment, subscribe, let me know how it's going, give me some requests. I love to hear from all you guys. And we will see you next week on another episode of Check It Out. Take care, everybody.